Buddha was in Deer Park at Isipatana near Benares, not in the monasteries, because this is the first sermon of the Buddha, and also no any Jetavana monastery or Pubbārāma monastery, no any monasteries at that time. Then the Buddha beginning with this sutta, Dveme bhikkhave anta pabbajitena na sevitabba. Bhikkhave, monks, ime dve anta, these two extremes should be avoided. Not to practice these two extremes. Anta means extremes. Then what are those two extremes? The first one is kama sukhalli kanu yogo, addiction to indulgence of sense pleasure. That is the first one. The second one is addiction to self-mortification. Atta kilamathanu yoga. The first one, kama sukhalli kanu yoga, addiction to indulgence of sense pleasure. And the second one is addiction to self-mortification. Why we have to avoid these two? Then Buddha explained further with details. This first one, addiction to indulgence of sense pleasure, is, Buddha used some words in Pali, hina. It is low. Hina means low. That practicing sense pleasure, indulgence of sense pleasure is low. And also Dhamma. Dhamma means vulgar. And also pothujaniko, the way of ordinary people. And anariyo, unworthy. And anatta sanghito, unprofitable. This, the first one, the kama sukhalli kanu yoga, addiction to indulgence of sense pleasures is low, vulgar, the way of ordinary people, and also unworthy and unprofitable. That's why don't practice this one, this anta or extreme. Then the second one, Buddha explained, atta kilamathanu yoga, addiction to self-mortification. That one also not good. Why? Again Buddha explained this one, self-mortification is dukkho. It gives pain, a lot of pain or suffering. And again Buddha says anaryo, unworthy, anatta sanghito, not profitable. That's why Buddha asked, don't practice these two extremes. Then Buddha asks again, practice majjhima patipada. Majjhima patipada, the middle path. You should practice middle path. Buddha says, majjhima patipada tathagatena abhisambuddha. The Tathagata has realized the middle path. And also this middle path is, it gives vision. The middle path gives vision. Chakku karani, it gives vision. Then it gives knowledge, jnana karani. It gives vision, it gives knowledge, and also not only that, it leads to calm. And it leads to insight, and it leads to enlightenment and also to nibbana. That's why have to practice majjhima patipada, middle path. It gives vision, knowledge, and also leads to calm, insight, enlightenment, finally nibbana. That's why Buddha asked to practice this majjhima patipada, middle path. Then the Katamachasa Bhikkhave Majjhima Patipada, Buddha says, what is the middle path or realized by the Buddha? Then he said, Ayameva Ariyo Attangiko Maggo. The eightfold path is the middle path. Middle path is noble eightfold path. Ariyo means noble. Attangiko, eightfold. Maggo means path. Noble eightfold path is the middle path. Then the Buddha says, this middle path or noble eightfold path is Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, and Samma Samadhi. Use Samma means right, because wrong, the opposite of right also, there are some wrong. Wrong view, wrong thoughts, wrong speech, wrong action, like that way. There are some in the world. That's why Buddha asked to practice middle path. That is Samma, right, right middle path. The first one is, then these 8, we can divide it into 3 groups, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. We can divide it into 3 groups, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Sila, I think you know morality. Samadhi, concentration. Panya, wisdom. Divided into 3 groups. The Sila, right speech is Sila, right action is Sila, right livelihood is Sila. These 3 belongs to Sila, right speech, right action, and right livelihood. And for Samadhi, also 3, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration belongs to Samadhi. Then for Panya, there are 2, right understanding and right thought. The first 2 belongs to Panya, then the second, the 3, 4, 5 is Sila, and the last 3, Samadhi or concentration. Then the Buddha explained again in the sutta, Idang ko pana bhikkhave dukkhang ariya satyang. Again, Buddha explained the 4 noble truths. I think you know 4 noble truths. Dukkha satcha, samudaya satcha, dukkha nirodha satcha, dukkha nirodha gamini, patipada satcha. Or dukkha ariya satcha, dukkha samudaya ariya satcha, dukkha nirodha ariya satcha, dukkha nirodha gamini, patipada ariya satcha. The first one is dukkha satcha, or satya in Sanskrit, the noble truth of suffering, or the noble truth of pain is the first satcha, dukkha satcha. And this dukkha satcha, there are 8. There are 8 kinds of dukkha we have. According to this Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, it explains Jatipi dukkha, Jarapi dukkha, Vyadipi dukkho, Maranampi dukkhang, Appiyehi sampayogo dukkho, Piyehi vipayogo dukkho, Yambichang nalabati tampi dukkhang, Sankittena panchupada nakkhandha dukkha. Like that way, there are 8 kinds of dukkha or suffering of pain we have. The first one is Jahati dukkha. Birth is pain or suffering. Jati, birth is suffering. Number 2, Jara pi dukkha. Jara also pain or suffering. Jara, aging or getting old. And number 3 is Vyadi pi dukkha. Vyadi is illnesses or diseases, also dukkha. And number 4, maranangpi dukkhang, marana, death also, dukkha or suffering. Number 5 is appihi sampayogo dukkho, associate with unpleasant people, also suffering. And separation from beloved ones, number 6. Piyehi vipayogo dukkho, separation from pleasant people, also suffering. Then the number 7 is yampichang nalabati thampi dukkhang, not to obtain what one desire. And number 8 is the last one, sankitena, in brief, panchupadanakkhandha dukkha, pancha upadana. Pancha means 5, upadana, grasping. Yes. Pancha upadana khanda. Khanda means groups or aggregates. Grasping of 5 aggregates, also dukkha. I think you know the 5 aggregates. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Those are the 5 aggregates. Rupa, form. Vedana, feelings. Sanya, perceptions. Sankhara, mental formations. And Vijnana, consciousness. When we grasp to, attach to those 5 aggregates or khandhas, also suffering. Then I think no need to explain one by one. Birth is suffering, especially number 2, aging is suffering. Getting older and wrinkle and lose the teeth and lack of vision, all the things. After 40 years, I think not grow in our body, it's decaying, going down after 40 years. Then that one suffering, and also diseases, illnesses also suffering. Some suttas like Girimananda Sutta explains many diseases, even Buddha's time, like Vata Samuttana Abada, Pitta Samuttana Abada, Sema Samuttana Abada, Utuparinamada Namaja Abada, Opakkamika Abada, Kamma Vipakada Abada, like that way. So some diseases due to phlegm, some diseases due to our wind, phlegm, bile, and also change in the seasonal changing. Utuparinamaja abada means when the seasons changing, also we have some problems or diseases. And the very strong one is kamma vipakaja abada, some diseases because of our bad karmas. And also opakkamika abada. Opakkamika abada means when we do wrong things, like drinking alcohol or smoking, and all those things, when we do bad things, then we can get some diseases. And also careless driving also we have to face to the accidents and problem we have like that. And association with unpleasant people also suffering, and separation or separate from the pleasant people also suffering like that way. And also in the Vibhanga Pakarana, a book of Abhidhamma Pitaka, it explains another 4 sufferings. These 8 and another 4, those 4 are Soka, Parideva, Dukkha, Domanassa. Soka, sorrow, is suffering, and Parideva, lamentation, is suffering, and Dukkha, pain also, and grief. These 4 additional things explained in Vibhanga Pakarana Abhidhamma book. And again, there are 4 natural qualities of dukkha, like a pidana and sankhata and santapa viparinama, like that way explained in the commentary. The pidana, dukkha means brings mental or physical or both agony, mental agony, physical agony, or mental and physical agony. That one, a natural quality of the dukkha. And also, number 2 is sankhata. Sankhata, dukkha means the suffering, the natural qualities of suffering is undergo anicca, dukkha, anatta. 2, anicca, impermanence, dukkha, suffering, and anatta, non-self. And number 3 is the santapa dukkha. Santapa is a continually burning like fire. That is santapa dukkha. Then number 4 is viparinama dukkha. Dukkha also changing. Viparinama is changing. The suffering is changing and rebecoming and continuous deteriorating that way. And then number 2, the second truth of Four Noble Truth is samudaya arya satcha. Samudaya arya satcha, the noble truth of cause of suffering. The noble truth of cause of suffering. What is the cause of suffering? The first one, suffering. Number 2 is the cause of suffering. And what is the cause of suffering? You know that? No. That is the tanha. Only one cause. That is the tanha. Tanha, desire, lust. That one. The cause of suffering is tanha or craving. There are 3 types of tanha Buddha explained in this sermon. Kama tanha, bhava tanha, and vibhava tanha. Kama tanha, bhava tanha, and vibhava tanha. Kama tanha is craving for sensual pleasures, or craving for sense pleasures. Craving for sense pleasures, kama tanha. Bhava tanha, tanha means craving. Tanha, bhava tanha means craving for existence. Craving for existence. And number 3 is vibhava tanha, craving for non-existence. Those are 3, kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. Craving for sense desires, craving for existence, craving for non-existence. These 3 is the cause of suffering. And why the Buddha asked to, he explained the cause of suffering is tanha. He says, yayang tanha pono bhavika nandiraga sahagata tatra tatrabi nandini. This tanha, pono bhavika, gives rise to birth. Gives rise to birth, this tanha. And nandi raga sahagata, bound up with pleasure. This tanha, bound up with pleasure. And also raga, lust. And the last one is tatra tatrabhinandini, finding fresh delight now here and now there. The characteristic of the tanha is like that. It gives rise to birth and also bound up with pleasure, and it's lust, and also finding fresh delight now here and now there. And also, idang ko pana bhikkave dukkha nirodhang ariya satchang, number 3. Number 3 of Four Noble Truth is Nirodha Satya or Nirodha Satcha. The noble truth of the cessation of suffering, the cessation of suffering, Nirodha Satcha. Then Yotassa eva tanha asesa viraga nirodho chago patinitsago mutti analayo. And cessation of suffering is the complete existence of tanha is Nirodha Satcha. Totally eradication of tanha or craving is the Nirodha Satya. And also this one, Nirodha means chago. Chago means giving up. And patinissaggo, relinquishing and liberating oneself from, and the detaching oneself from it. And that way. Giving up, relinquishing, liberating, and detaching. Those are we call Nirodha. We have to giving up the desire, we have to relinquishing of the desire and liberating from the desire and detaching from the desire, tanha. Then the last one is Magga Satcha, the Noble Eightfold Path. Dukkha Nirodhagamini Patipada Arya Satcha. That is the fourth one. The noble truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. That is the Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path is Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, and Samma Samadhi. This one, right understanding, Samma Ditti. Then Samma Sankappa, right thought. And Samma Vacha, right speech. Samma Kammanta, right action. Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. Samma Vayama, right effort. Samma Sati, right concentration, mindfulness. And Samma Samadhi, right concentration. Those are the eightfold path, middle path. Then, according to this sutta, Buddha said, Idang dukkhang ariya satchanti me bhikkhave pubbe ananusuttesu dhammesu chakkung udapadi, jnanang udapadi, panya udapadi, vijja udapadi, aloko udapadi. Then this suffering is a noble truth. There arose in me, monks, concerning things not heard before. Such was the vision, knowledge, wisdom, the science and the light. That way, the chakkung udapadi, jnanang udapadi, panya udapadi, vijja udapadi, aloko udapadi. When the Buddha realized these four noble truths, then the Buddha says, chakkung udapadi, vision arose in him, vision. And jnanang, knowledge arises or arose. And panya, wisdom arose. And vijja, science arose. And aloko udapadi, light arose. When the Buddha realized these four noble truths, then he changed his mind. And also these four noble truths, Buddha divided into three aspects. Tiparivatta, Pali term is Tiparivatta, three aspects. And Dvadasakara, 12 ways. Three aspects and 12 ways. Tiparivatta, Dvadasakara. Then the Tiparivatta means Satcha, number 1. Number 2 is Kiccha. Number 3 is Kata, the Pali terms. The first one, Satcha means truth. And Kiccha, should be done. Number 3 is have been done. These 3 ways. Dukkha Satcha, the suffering, the truth of suffering is truth. And the truth of suffering should be done. And truth of suffering has been done that way. And Dvadasakara, 12 ways is like that. The first one, Dukkha. Dukkha is suffering is noble truth. We have to realize suffering is noble truth. That is the first one. Then suffering should be fully perceived. And the third one, the suffering has been fully perceived. That is 3, 1, 2, 3. 12 ways, 12 ways. Then 3. Then the Samudaya Satcha, cessation of suffering also, there are 3. The cause of suffering is the truth. Then the cause of suffering should be eradicated. Then the cause of suffering has been eradicated. Then 6. Then Nirodha Sattva, number 3. Number 2 is the cause of suffering. This one, cessation of suffering. This cessation of dukkha is noble truth. This cessation of suffering should be realized, and this cessation of suffering has been realized. Then 9. Then the Magga Satcha, the path leading to the cessation of dukkha is noble truth, and it should be developed, and it has been developed. That way there are 12 ways. And finally, this sutta is not the Buddha's words. It's additional thing. There are 21 Deva worlds explained. The Bhumatu Deva, the Devas who live on the earth, then they joy and they say sadhu, 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 then here to next Deva world, and they also pleased listening to that sound. That way it's go up to 21 planes or Deva worlds. And now I will explain a little bit about Noble Eightfold Path. The first one is a right view. Samma. It is the right view. What is the right view? What is the right view? Sammaditi. Sammaditi. Right view is knowledge about Four Noble Truth. Yes, the knowledge about Four Noble Truth is right view. What is the Four Noble Truth? Again, suffering, the cause of suffering, cessation of suffering, the path leading to cessation of suffering. Those are right view. Then the number 2 is right thought. Right thought, samma sankappa, samma sankappa. Samma sankappa, right thought. Also, there are 3. One is nekkamma sankappa, avyapada sankappa, and avihimsa sankappa. Nekkamma sankappa means thoughts of renunciation. Nekkamma sankappa, thought of renunciation, number 1. Then the second one, avyapada sankappa, thought of goodwill. And number 3, avihimsa sankappa, thought of non-violence. And the miccha sankappa also, miccha sankappa, wrong view or wrong thoughts. Wrong thoughts is opposite of renunciation, And Vyapada means ill will. Then the wrong thought is ill will, right thought is good will. And also Miccha Sankappa, one is Vihinsa. Vihinsa is violence. And right thought is non-violence. That way, three. The thought of renunciation, thought of goodwill, and thought of non-violence. These are the right thought. And number three is right speech. Right speech, I think you know, Samma, Vacha. There are four. There are four types of right speech. Refraining from false speech. Pali term is musavada. Musavada. Refraining from false speech. Musavada. Veramani. Veramani means refraining from. And number two is Pisuna Vacha Veramani. Pisuna Vacha, refraining from slandering. Slandering or malicious speech. And number three is Parusa Vacha, refraining from harsh words, rough words. And number four, Sampapalapa Veramani, refraining from frivolous talk or gossip, empty words. That's one. The right speech. Refraining from false speech, malicious speech, rough speech, and frivolous talk. That's a Samma speech, right speech. Then the number four is right action. Samma kammanta, right action. Also three. Number one is Panatipata Veramani, refraining from killing living beings. Panatipata Veramani. Then number two is, I think you know number two, Adinnadana Veramani. Yes, what is the meaning? Adinnadana Veramani, refraining from stealing, yes, stealing. Taking what has not given, stealing. Number three is Kamesu Michachara Veramani, refraining from sexual misconduct. That's one. Samma Kammanta. Micha Kammanta means killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. And then number five is right livelihood. Samma Ajiva. Also, giving up wrong way, giving up wrong way of livelihood, and also earning and living by a right way of livelihood, that is right livelihood. And also in the Vanijja Sutta, the discourse on trades in the Anguttara Nikaya explains there are 5 things, or 5 wrong trades. 5 wrong trades, 5 kinds of wrong businesses explained in Vanijja Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, the discourse on trades. Also, I think very famous sutta in Sigalovada Sutta in Sutta Nipata. What are those? Number one is Sattha Vanijja. Sattha Vanijja, S-A-T-H-A. Sattha. Sattha is weapons. Sattha, weapons. Trading weapons is wrong business. Number two is Sattha Vanijja, S-A-T-T-A. That one S-A-T-H-A, Sattha. This number two is Sattha, S-A-T-T-A. Sattha Vanijja, trading living beings. Living beings, you know, those days, even I think the British people, they caught some people and they used as slave, and also they sold them. And this is the trading living beings, number 2. It's a wrong business. And number 3 is mansa vanijja. Mansa means meat, trading meat, selling meat also wrong business. And number 4 is majja vanijja, trading or intoxicant, trading intoxicant also wrong business. And the last one, visa vanijja, trading poisons. And those are the 4 wrong businesses explained in some suttas. And avoiding these things are right livelihood. Then number 6 is right effort. Right effort. Samma vayama. Right efforts. Also, there are 4 types of right effort. Number 1 is generating desire for the non-arising of bad and unwholesome thoughts. Generating desire for the non-arising of bad and unwholesome thoughts. And generating desire to give up bad and unwholesome thoughts that have already arisen bad thoughts, you have to give up. The number 3 is generating desire for the arising of wholesome thoughts. The number 4 is generating desire for the continuation of wholesome thoughts that already we have or arisen. Those are the 4 types of effort. And number 7 is right mindfulness. The right mindfulness, also I think you know, right mindfulness is 4 types of contemplating. 4 types of mindfulness meditation. Kaya-anupassana, Vedana-anupassana, Chitta-anupassana, and Dhamma-anupassana, explaining in Satipatthana Sutta. 4 types of meditation. The contemplating the nature of the body, contemplating the nature of feelings, Vedana-anupassana, the contemplating the nature of mind, Chitta-anupassana, the last one, Dhamma-anupassana, contemplating the Dhamma arising in the mind, like Pancha Nivarana, 5 hindrances, and also like the other way, the opposite side is Satta Bojjhanga, 7 factors of enlightenment. And the last one, and eightfold path is Samma Samadhi, right concentration. Right concentration is 4 types of jhanas. The first one, dwelling, having attained Patama jhana, and the first absorption, and the second absorption, third absorption, and fourth absorption. Dwelling, having attained these 4 jhanas, Patama, Dutiya, Tatiya, and Chatutha. That is the Samma Samadhi. And in the commentary gives a simile for these 3, Samma Vayama, for right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. That is a very good example or simile. And it's explained, there are 3 boys. 3 boys, they wanted to go to a park to play. Then they went there. When they were playing, they saw a beautiful flowers on a tree, top of the tree. Then they went there to the tree, but they couldn't reach to pluck or to collect the flowers. Then even the tallest boy couldn't reach to the flowers. Then what they did was the tallest boy who picks up the flower, and the second one bent down. Then the first one went there, and he couldn't pick up the flowers. He didn't reach to the flowers. Then the number two went there, and he bent down, and the first one get on his back and try to pick up the flowers, but also couldn't do it. Then the third one went there, and the second one climbed on his shoulders and bent down. The top one, he plucked the flowers that way. All together, these three boys, all together, they had the flowers, collected the flowers. Then the simile is the tallest boy who picks the flowers is Samma Samadhi. Samma Samadhi is concentration. Concentration is the get the results. Get the results. But concentration or unify mind need some support to get the enlightenment. Just the samadhi, chitta or concentration mind or unify mind alone can't get the enlightenment, need some support. Then the second boy who gives his back is the right effort. To concentration mind need effort. We need effort to concentrate our mind. That is the second one, Samma Vayama. The third boy is right mindfulness, Samma Sati, who offered his shoulder. Then these three together pick up the flowers. That way, to get the enlightenment, we need these three, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati and Samma Samadhi. Right mindfulness, right effort and right concentration. That is the way explain the simile in the commentary. And I think that's it to explain. And to the Dhamma, if you need anything to ask, you can ask. Any questions? The sutta explained the Four Noble Truths. Dukkha, the cause of dukkha and cessation of dukkha, and the path leading to cessation of dukkha. Then the last one, the path leading to cessation of dukkha is Eight Noble Path. Eight Noble Path is Sammaditthi, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vaca, that way. Right view, right thought, right speech, that way. Think you know the right thought, right view, right thought, right speech, right action, that way. Like the Buddha's first sermon. And also, and he explained the dukkha, 8 types of dukkha, jatipu dukkha, jarapi dukkha, vyadipu dukkha, that way. The birth is suffering, aging is suffering, death is suffering, and associate with unpleasant people is suffering, and separation from pleasant people is suffering, and to not gain what we desire is also suffering. In brief, the 5 grasping of 5 aggregates is suffering. And also the cause of suffering is tanha, craving. And there are 3 types of craving: kama tanha, bhava tanha, and vibhava tanha. Kama tanha is desire or craving for sense pleasure, craving for existence, craving for non-existence. Those are the things explained in this sutta. Okay. Any questions?